This is after 3 minutes. Hey everybody, welcome back to Adventures with Spackmann. Today, we're looking at the cheapest baker-style bushcraft tent from Amazon. This is the Gonex one-person ultralight backpacking tent. I think it comes in just over 3 pounds. Leave the weight right over here somewhere. I really enjoy baker-style tents. I like having a porch on the front and then your tent in the back. So not only can you set it up as a porch, but it can also be set up as a classic A-frame tent, just like this. It has zippers on both sides with rain flaps. Then you stake out the front and you have a regular A-frame. Almost the whole front is the door. Opens right up, plenty of ventilation, the whole thing is mesh. There are so many flies in here. Holy cow. Along with the front being all screen, you have 2 screen windows back here. They are held closed with toggles and loops. There's a storm flap in the back that you can open up and allow airflow to come through here. It also has this nifty storage pocket, made in China. But before we get the water going and check the waterproofness, let's go over the setup. So when you start to set up this tent, you want to start with the 4 corners. You stake those out. And then you go right to the middle where the ridge line is. And if you're using trekking poles, you insert your trekking poles into the grommet. Once you have the ridge line guide out, I move to the back side and I stake out the vent. This requires 3 stakes and then your back window is open. Along with the back vent, there are 2 guy outs on the back wall that will give you more room inside of the tent if you guy those out. Once the back is set up, you move to the front. If you're doing an awning setup, you stake it out and then your tent is set up. All right, I got the fire going. The bugs are still insane, but I'm gonna set the water up and I'm gonna stay inside of this for an hour and see how it does. So let's get the water going. I'm giving away these light up trekking poles from OLIFE. If you're interested, I'll leave the link to that giveaway in the description down below. Go check it out before it's too late to win these. All right, we got some good coverage all over the top and the back. This side is not gonna get it, unfortunately. But this side is getting it. And the back and the front, pretty much the ridge line and down here is what I want to test. See how these seams do. I'm gonna set this up for an hour and I'll see you guys after that hour. Tell you how it did. All right, everybody, it's been an hour. I found a couple things wrong with the tent during the Spackmann water torture test, so let's see those right now. This is after 3 minutes. And that's seam taped. Oh, wait a minute. It's coming in right here. I'm gonna try to stop that. All right. That wasn't fair to the tent, so I had to close this side. And now the leaking has stopped. I believe it was coming into that net, not leaking. Well, I could be wrong. All right, I went out again and fixed it. I got it closed all the way. I got the Velcro buckled, so now this flap is closed completely. Is it still leaking through there? Where the hell is that water coming from? Yeah, that's leaking right there. Looks like the water's coming down this seam and then finding a hole right here. And coming in. That's still leaking, and I did everything I could. The tent is set up closed on this side. Spackmann water torture test water. Cheers. This side's starting to leak now. It's been 35 minutes. That's gonna start coming through this screen. I'm pretty disappointed that it only took 3 minutes for this side to start leaking. I have a feeling if water was hitting this side the whole time, it would have taken 3 minutes too, not 35. Do I think you can fix this problem? I do. Let's see why it's leaking. This seam right here is the top seam of the zipper. It is not seam taped at all. So no matter what, that's gonna start leaking eventually on both sides. This is the only place I found that's not seam taped, and that is letting water in, as well as this seam here, this other zipper seam, that's leaking too. I don't know why companies don't seal the zippers, but they just don't. I don't get it. Maybe they can't, maybe it's too much work, I don't know. I just don't know. We ended up with quite the puddle from this corner here, and this one got it pretty well too. So it's a $40 Bushcraft tent, guys. A little bit of seam sealer will fix up these ends, I believe. I like to use a bottle from Cooligan. It's seam sealer, it comes in a little white bottle. I'll leave a link in the description down below to how I like to seal tents. If you guys are interested in this tent, but you want to seal it, or any other tent that you have a feeling that is going to leak and you want to seal it, I'll leave that video in the description down below. I'll leave a link to this tent in the description down below. Currently, it's unavailable. I'm really sorry, but I've reached out to the company to find out when it's going to be available, and we'll figure that out. It's a $40 Bushcraft tent from Amazon. It's pretty cool. You need to put a little work into it if you plan on having it in heavy rain. Other than that, let me know what you guys think of this tent. Let me know in the comments down below. Thanks for joining me on this tent adventure. I'll see you on the next one. $40 Baker hot tent. $40 Bushcraft hot tent. $40 Bushcraft Baker tent from Amazon. It's pretty cool. All right, just checking this after the Spackmann water torture test. There is water in there, guys. These are not that water resistant. Not much water hit this, but water got in. I do not recommend having these in the rain.